education in America has been built upon the destruction of the minds of brown-skinned people. And you dealing with health and about preserving the body are going against the philosopher's stone and culture. It was once written how women of color had their vaginas cut open and bled purposely because they were told they bled different than white women. And it was said that men of color's bodies were different, so they had to poison us purposely to see to what extent can we survive harsh conditions. Seeing that on a physical, mental, and spiritual level, how important is it to cleanse and then rebuild through that cleanse your mind, soul, body, and spirit?
All right. Number one, it's very, very important to cleanse mentally, spiritually, and physically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to a time where we were at the tip top of our shape as far as African people and our African nation is concerned. So for instance, in Africa, you know, they on the walls of Egypt, they had a particular ceremony called the weighing of the heart ceremony, right? And in the weighing of the heart ceremony, what a lot of people don't know is that is a biological function that actually happens within the liver of our body. So for instance, Anubis brings the person within to the hall of judgment. In the body, Anubis represents the hepatic artery, which is connected to the liver. So the hepatic artery comes directly from the heart straight to the liver. It brings the oxygenated blood within the liver, and then the liver has to process that blood. What does that mean on a physical and spiritual plane? What that means is that we as living people represent the blood cells who have to be processed within nature in order to move on to new cycles and new things. Now, in the weighing of the heart ceremony, if your heart was toxic, or you broke laws, or you didn't do the right thing within that particular realm, you would be eradicated by the god Amit or Sobek. And if you know anything about the weighing of the heart ceremony, Sobek has 4 different aspects to him. He has the crocodile, the cheetah, the lion, and the hippopotamus. And the reason why he does is because he represents the bile pigments in the body. If you go into biology, then you will see that bile pigments has 4 sides to it as well. Bile salts, bile acids, bile pigments, and also, I forgot the other aspect of it, but I'm going to explain why these particular animal parts represent the bile within the body. So the salt aspect, or the bile salt, represents the crocodile because the crocodile lives in salt water. The bile pigment aspect represents the cheetah because the cheetah separates itself from any other cats because of its spots and its pigments. The other aspect is that one half of bile hates water, the other half of bile love water. So it's an amphiphilic type of chemical that emulsifies fat. So what that means is that because the hippopotamus represents the water aspect, and the etymology of the word hippopotamus literally means water horse, right? And the other aspect represents the lion. So the lion hates water, but it can get in water if it needs to. All right. So our ancestors understood by studying the body, you also saw things on the outside that represented that. On a spiritual aspect, this is why they put it on the walls. Now, if people, you know, in this society was to get a hold of the spiritual meaning of that, then they are able to take advantage of us. And some of them did understand it, and they're able to take advantage of that because they know if they put us in a position where our hearts get heavy, literally, then we'll get into a space of eradicating and killing ourselves. I did an interview yesterday actually where they asked me about the conditions in our neighborhood and health and things of that matter. And one of the things we have to understand is that they position certain fast food joints in our neighborhoods because we act just like the fast food that we eat. Fast food equals fast life, so we pass away faster. Also, it alters the mind and doesn't allow the mind to think correct in a way where we can elevate our ascension as far as going on to the next level or going on to, you know, into the next life, or however you want to portray that particular situation. But education as far as health is concerned is very important, and our ancestors let us know that. I also created a calendar called the Noot calendar, which dealt with the star constellations representing the organs within the body. What that meant is that there's different organs that face the particular, that face Earth, and we as human beings have to understand that the universe is a gigantic body, and the organs within the body help to make the body go forward. The same way we have organs that work in unison to move forward, the universe also has organs that work in unison to move forward. They just don't look physically like we do, even though constellations that mimic, or we mimic it, look just like those particular body parts. So in retrospect, it's very important for us to have an overall and complete education as far as health is concerned, because our health is directly related to the way that we think. And like I was saying earlier, and I didn't finish the point, was that they position different fast food joints in our neighborhoods. They give us chicken, beef, pork, and these type of things. The reason why is because we start to act like these animals. Look at how we treat each other. We shoot each other, we kill each other. We don't know how to act. Our emotional state is out of order. So a lot of that is a tribute to health. Also, you know, because of the way we act and way we think, we're subject to more trauma. You understand what I'm saying? So trauma also plays a major role in our development and our health and things of that nature. So, I mean, we gotta, when we implement certain factors when it comes to school, we have to implement health. Health is probably one of the most major things. The other aspect is self-love. The only way to undo trauma is to actually implement self-love, and we don't have a curriculum just based upon self-love and loving who you are and understanding where you come from. We in grave danger.